Welcome to Wilbur D. Rowe Middle School, where the teachers are great and every single kid is cool. Truly learn with a common goal. We are safe, respectful, and responsible. Home to math minds, some of the best readers, musicians, athletes, scholars, and web leaders. Lots happening in this wonderful place, and there's only one way to stay up to date. So if you got a case of the Sandbox Blues, hit the YouTube, check the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Not a thing that we cannot do. Growth mindset, it's the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So if you got a case of the Sandbox Blues, hit the YouTube, check the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Not a thing that we cannot do. Growth mindset, it's the Shamrock News. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Hi, Rowe Middle School community.
Thanks for joining us today for another episode of the Shamrock News.
I'm Vanessa, aka Vanessa.
And I'm Riley, aka that person.
Let's start the episode by checking out about our Among Us Day happening next Wednesday, right after Community and Connections.
Are 1 week away from a Rowe Middle School Among Us game day. That's right. Next week, Rowe Middle School staff and students will be playing
Among Us!
Woo!
Among Us is an incredible game where people collaborate to repair a ship.
And figure out who the imposters are on the ship.
Here's how we're going to play.
Next Wednesday, January 27th, students and staff members will log into a Google Meet and use a code found in your Google Classroom grade level hub.
We'll start at about 11:15. At that time, Mr. Dix will start putting people in breakout rooms.
We'll try to have at least one teacher and one Shamrock News member and 8 other students in each room.
Then, one member in the breakout room will create a private Among Us code and share it with everyone.
Then you will be able to play a game on your device while also chatting in the Google Meet. You will be able to interact with each other and hold discussions to figure out who the imposters are.
We'll be playing until 11:45.
If you show up after 11:15, don't worry. Mr. Dix will find a room for you to join and play.
And if you need to know how to access Among Us,
we'll have videos for you how to access on your phone and on your Chromebook in the Google Classroom grade level hub. So you'll see you next Wednesday, January 27th, 2021 at 11:15 for our
Among Us
game day. Whoop whoop.
This Monday, we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights activist and organized many peaceful protests in his lifetime.
He was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, with his 3 siblings, A.D. and Christine King and Don Clendenon.
He went to Boston University in 1951, where he got his B.A., also known as Bachelor of Arts. He later became a Baptist minister at Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church.
Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech during the March on Washington for Jobs, Freedom, and an End to Racism in the U.S. A year later, he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964.
4 years after he won the Nobel Peace Prize, he was shot at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4th, 1968. He was rushed to the hospital and passed away about an hour later.
So, this week's quote, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward, comes from Martin Luther King Jr.
This quote is inspiring because he is saying that no obstacle can stop you from moving forward and reaching your goal. So once again, your Clover quote of the week is, If you can't fly, you can run. If you can't run, you can walk. And if you can't walk, you can crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Comes from Martin Luther King Jr.
Thanks for watching your Clover Quote of the Week.
Just a reminder that the first yearbook staff meeting is today at 4. The first yearbook staff meeting is at 4:30 p.m. with Mr. Clark. Are you looking for an opportunity to collaborate with others on a creative project? Do you want to learn how to design and lay out a publication? Do you want to be a part of a staff that works together to problem solve and brainstorm ideas? Then Mr. Clark wants you to join the 2020 to 2021 Rowe Middle School yearbook staff. This year's group will have an awesome opportunity to figure out what kinds of things will go up in the yearbook. If we don't get an opportunity to go back to school this year and take portraits, what are the photos going to look like? How do we fill up 76 pages if we haven't even been in school for over half the year? These are questions that the yearbook staff will get to answer. So if you love creative problem solving and design, this is right up your alley. The first meeting will be held on Wednesday, January 20th at 4 p.m. If you'd like to join, please go to your Google Classroom grade level hub or your Community Connections Google Classroom and fill out the yearbook staff interest form. Once you do that, Mr. Clark will email you a link for the Google Meet session for January 20th. If you have any questions, please contact Mr. Clark.
Welcome back to Caitlin's Science Show. I wasn't really sure what to talk about this week, so I thought I'd give you all some cool science facts. Number 1. Lasers can get trapped in a waterfall. Yes, it is actually possible to trap a laser beam in water. It happens due to a phenomenon called total internal reflection, which occurs when light travels through a dense material and hits the boundary of a material which has a lesser density. Number 2. An egg looks like a crazy jellyfish underwater. A cracked egg on land might make a big mess, but 18 meters, aka 16 feet below the surface of the ocean, the pressure on the egg is 2.8 times atmospheric pressure, and it holds it together like an invisible eggshell. Number 3. If you spin a ball as you drop it, it flies. I mean, it really flies. It's thanks to the Magnus effect, which occurs when the air in front of the side of a spinning object is going the same direction as it spins, which means it gets dragged along with the object and deflected back. Meanwhile, the air on the other side of the ball is moving in the opposite direction, so the airflow separates, causing it to float. That's all I have for you this week, but next episode will have a fun experiment for all of you. Sorry episodes have been so short, I just haven't figured out what type of experiments to do. See ya!
We've got a new Student of the Month role model to celebrate for the month of January and February.
For our January-February Student of the Month role model, we've chosen the late John Lewis.
John Lewis was a civil rights activist, politician, and an author.
He was part of the Big Six, which also featured Martin Luther King Jr., and they were responsible for organizing the March on Washington in 1963.
Because of the work and activism done by John Lewis and his peers, the next government passed the Voting Rights Act in 1965, which outlawed discriminatory voting practices. John Lewis eventually went on to be a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, serving for Georgia's 5th District.
He was elected in 1986 and he served until he died in July of 2020.
John Lewis is an example of someone who fought for equal rights for his entire life.
He reminds us that we may not see the results of hard work until later in life.
Maybe even the goal we fight for won't be accomplished until after we die.
However, he shows us that it is still important to do the work
in order to ensure equal rights and opportunities for everyone in our community.
Where is a political party that will make it unnecessary to march on Washington? Where is the political party that will make it unnecessary to march in the streets of Birmingham? Those who have said be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
John Lewis is an American hero
and our January-February Student of the Month role model.
Bored in the house, bored in the house, bored in the house, bored in the house, bored.
Are you just bored in quarantine? Well, here's some things you can do to keep yourself occupied. You can read a book. And you can even make brownies. Like, who doesn't love brownies? Eat the brownies. Go on your phone, play some games. And you can work out. Find a new cool trick that you can learn and show it off in a video, I guess. You can do some nice coloring. Light your delicious smelling candle. And last but not least, you can chill out in your room and have a dance party.
We've got a new challenge for everyone, and it involves basketball. Or if you can't do that, laundry and hampers.
We miss sports.
And right now, most of us aren't playing basketball, football, or any other competitive sport at the moment.
However, that doesn't mean we can't have some sports level fun.
So we're throwing out a virtual horse competition.
For those who don't know, horse is a basketball competition where people try to make difficult shots so that their opponent has to shoot the same difficult shots.
Although we're not necessarily going to be playing against each other,
we do want to see your difficult shots.
That's right, we want you to film your tough basketball shots and share them with the Shamrock News.
So if you've got access to a hoop,
film yourself shooting your 3-pointers,
wacky layups,
zany trick shots,
and if you don't have access to a hoop in basketball,
then use a wad of paper and a garbage can.
Or throw dirty laundry into a clothes hamper.
Hey!
Or even a pair of socks into your siblings' circled up arms.
Film yourself explaining the shot and making the shot, and then send it to Mr. Dick so we can put it in the Shamrock News.
So if you miss sports, particularly basketball,
and if you want to participate in some friendly sports action,
then join us in our virtual horse competition.
Also, we'd like to give a shout out to Rowe student Carter L. for giving us this idea.
Let's get buckets, Rowe!
In an effort to make our social media accounts, specifically our Instagram, more fun and engaging, the Shamrock News students will be taking over from here on out. Mr. Dix has been doing his darndest all year, and unfortunately, he's an old and out-of-touch adult who no longer has his finger on the pulse of what's engaging and cool.
I mean, she's right.
That's why we're taking over. Starting next Monday, Shamrock News students will be running the Rowe IG account. We'll be posting stories, videos, and photos, and we'll make sure that we get all the important information to you. But we'll also make sure that we have fun with polls and AMAs. So if you have an IG account, be sure to follow Rowe Middle School at RMS_Shamrocks so that you can join the fun and follow along with what's happening at Rowe Middle School.
Our alternative high schools in the North Clackamas School District are beginning their application process.
The Milwaukee Academy of the Arts, otherwise known as MA, is now accepting applications for incoming freshmen.
MA is a small charter school within Milwaukee High School where students engage in art-based core classes.
These students also have access to the entire elective catalog of Milwaukee High School students.
MA will be holding a virtual house on Zoom on Tuesday, February 2nd at 5 p.m. and Thursday, February 4th at 7 p.m.
Students and their pupils will learn more about the program and be able to ask questions as well.
The meeting will be a Zoom meeting, so head over to Google Classroom and your grade level hub and look for the code.
For more information, visit the Milwaukee Academy of the Arts website posted below.
So if you're a student who's looking for a smaller school
with arts-based classes, as well as access to lots of different electives,
MAA might be the place for you.
Clackamas Middle School is currently accepting applications for next school year.
Clackamas Middle College, otherwise known as CMC, is a high school in North Clackamas School District that focuses on preparing students for life after high school by getting them college credits while they're juniors and seniors.
Since CMC operates in trimesters instead of semesters, students can sometimes graduate after their 12th grade year with not only a high school diploma, but an associate's degree from Clackamas Community College as well.
Students who are academically motivated and would like to get a head start on their college career should definitely look into Community Middle College.
In order to apply, students should visit the Clackamas Middle College website.
Once there, click on Apply and you'll be directed to complete 2 steps.
The first step is to complete an online application.
The second step is to get recommendation from one of your current teachers, as well as filling out an application for Clackamas Community College. You'll also need to take a placement test for reading, math, and writing.
The sooner you can complete these steps, the better chance you'll have at being accepted into Clackamas Middle College.
So if you're interested in getting college credits while still in high school, CMC might be the best place for you.
Apply now.
The Boys and Girls Club has awesome new opportunities for the Rowe students.
Are you having trouble understanding some of your assignments?
Do you need someone to help you talk through your work?
Would you like some extra assistance with your class content?
Well, the Boys and Girls Club can help you with all of that.
The Boys and Girls Club has begun their CDL supports and tutoring hour.
From 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday, students will be able to access the tutoring hour via the Google Meet link.
This resource is open to all students at Rowe Middle School.
The link to join can be found in your Google Classroom grade level hub and on the Boys and Girls Club website.
Just show up like you would during office hours, and you'll get the help you need.
Also, at 4:30 on Thursdays, the Boys and Girls Club will be holding peer-to-peer tutoring time.
This is an opportunity for students to help other students.
If you're a student who's looking for a way to contribute to your community, you can do so by offering to tutor another student.
If you're interested in peer-to-peer tutoring, please contact Mr. Dix.
So, to recap, every day, Monday through Friday, the Boys and Girls Club will be holding tutoring sessions from 2 to 3 p.m.
And every Thursday, they'll be holding peer-to-peer tutoring sessions at 4:30.
We need students to sign up to help and to sign up for help.
Thanks to our one big team. Let's get it, Rowe.
Thanks for joining us this week, Rowe Middle School.
See you next time on the Shamrock News.
Same Shamrock time, same Shamrock place.
Peace.
Sunshine.